Angel Reese. Okay. Great rookie player. She had a fantastic season in the WNBA. She's a star. She's speaking out, though, about racist fans threatening her. Let's listen to her on her new podcast.
Whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. So how do you feel about that situation?
Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school. So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that. But when it comes to death threats, like I'm talking about people have come down to my address, following me home. Like it's come down to that. Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me like naked, literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like, uncles are sending it to me like,
no.
Are you naked on Instagram? It sucks to see that, and it's really hard that I have to go through that, and now seeing other players even having to go through that. But like, at the end of the day, it's a game that we do both love, but there is no hate.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
No, she has no hate for her rival, Caitlin Clark. There's nothing going on there. The hate, though, is coming towards Angel Reese. Racism. Let's give you more of the background. Angel Reese does not harbor hate for her rival, WNBA rookie Caitlin Clark, despite persistent headlines, social media banter, pitting the women against each other. Same cannot be said about the Indiana Fever star players fans. They've taken efforts to tear down Angel too far. Chicago Sky Forward opened up about enduring the never-ending cyber attacks from Clark's legion of supporters since the two athletes' teams squared off during back-to-back NCAA title games in 2023. Previously, Reese was moved to tears in April in a post-game news conference where she addressed facing death threats, being sexualized, the subject of online attacks. All this has happened since I won the national championship, Angel said, and it sucks, but I still wouldn't change anything. And I would still sit here and say, I'm unapologetically me. I'm going to always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. Her then teammate, Paulje Johnson, also defended her, noting that her captain was a strong, caring, and loving person. Felt the need to even say that. Clark is facing backlash for not speaking out enough against the hate Angel receives, or at minimum, checking her fans for their attacks. Podcaster listener reacted to a snippet of Angel's remarks in a tweet that read, "That girl's fans give KKK, and the fact that she's remained silent on calling them out makes me believe she condones their low-down dirt neck behavior." The surfaced tweet that admonished the racist undercurrent of pro-Clark people said, Caitlin Clark is in the wrong league if she refuses to take a stand against racism. While she did not ask to be the great white hope, the maggots have made her that, and it's causing real harm. Atlanta Blackstar with the details. As reported by ESPN in June, Clark expressed a desire to have her name kept out of racist and misogynistic conversation. People should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable, told the media. I don't put too much thought and time into thinking about things like that, and to be honest, I don't see a lot of it. She added, basketball is my job, everything on the outside, I can't control that. So I'm not going to spend time thinking about that. Okay, I now know where I'm going with this one because I was struggling internally as I was going through the details. Yeah, saying, Caitlin Clark isn't responsible for these disgusting racist dogs. She didn't ask him to do this. But that last statement, I remember when she spoke out in June, is full of white privilege. Nice. You don't have to think about it. You can just play basketball. Must be nice. Somebody who looks like me or Angel Reese doesn't have that opportunity because this is America. And if it were me and I was in her shoes and someone was saying these disgusting, racist, vile things or anti-Semitic things, I wouldn't just say, I've asked people not to put that on me. I would say, Hey, can everybody come over here? I'd hold a special press conference, yes. And I'd say, if you are this, I can't stand you. I don't want your support. Don't come to my game. I would list everything. I wouldn't just say, yeah, I don't have time to think about that. This is my job, basketball. It's not part of what I believe. Bye. See ya. Going off to get my Nike deal, cash a check.
Mhm.
That's what I think about it. Not absolving the racist, the disgusting, the death threats, and the people who are doing this. But if you're going to say something, and you should, come
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, that is the part that bothers a lot of people, is that Caitlyn herself hasn't come out and said anything about or to her fans. I do feel for her in the sense that, she is just trying to do what she's good at and play basketball. But to your point, you're absolutely right. So is this other girl, what's her name, Angel? She's also trying to do that exact same thing, but she has to do it with the added scrutiny of, the public scrutiny, but also all of these racist attacks that are threatening her. So she doesn't have the privilege of doing the same exact thing that Caitlyn is doing, without also like the trauma that comes with being a Black woman in the public sphere. And, it's tough because now this girl is a basketball player, and now she has to become, this figure who speaks out against things like systemic racism and bullying and things like that, which she may or may not actually be qualified to speak on, right? But she should probably invest in some kind of PR person or a PR team to help her navigate this, because this is the world that she lives in now, whether she likes it or not. This is the nature of being a white woman in basketball, and this is the nature of the way that the public has pitted her against this other Black woman, her Black peer. What she could do, I mean, now Angel has a podcast, I guess. She could go and make an appearance with her. Maybe that would be easier, if she's not comfortable holding her own press conference or something like that. Maybe she could just address it with her. I think that would be,
Yeah, I think
like the very least she could do.
you got some great ideas. The problem is, part of her statement said, I don't see a lot of it. First, you
Yeah.
have to recognize what's going on. This
Yeah, I
is
mean,
ticking
that's
me
a
off
big
more
part of
and
the
more.
problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'd be good for her to come. Not if I was Angel Reese, she probably shouldn't come on my podcast, because it wouldn't be good for her. Again, she didn't ask for this. She didn't do it,
Mhm.
but she's
Mhm.
still benefiting from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Angel didn't ask for it either, right?
Right.
Like nobody asked for this,
It's not so
but
bad.
it's
No
what
big
happened.
deal. She
Mhm.
told you what's happening to her. It is a big deal. She
See?
cried. She cried after that game.
Publicly. Yeah, we all saw it.
I'm not
So,
seeing it. I just focus on basketball.
mhm.
Girl,
Yeah.
sit down. If she's not qualified to speak on this, well, get over it. You don't take the Nike money. You don't take the contract. You don't become the great white hope if you can't grow and learn and emerge into that role.
Yeah.
I was on the fence before. You can see I'm not a fence sitter. I think she needs to go have a seat. Have a seat.
Yeah. She
Okay.
needs to hire a team. I think she needs
She
a team
does.
of people to help her
Yeah,
figure out what to say and how to say it, and not like
that's right.
I guess I get nervous whenever these people speak on things that they aren't qualified to speak on, or they're unfamiliar with it, because sometimes they say things that like make things worse. So now is a good time for her to educate herself and to open her
Mhm.
eyes and to see the things that she is
Yeah.
actively trying not to see.
In basketball, I played a little. See the floor. You got to see the whole floor. Can't put your head down. That's why you dribble with your head up.
I'm
Yeah.
too short
I don't
for
know if you
that.
played. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to see the floor. I need her to open her eyes and knock off this nonsense. And when she hires a team, make sure there's some sisters on there too. Okay. They can help her, bring her along. I mean, I know she played at
Oh, yeah.
Iowa, but have you seen the WNBA? It's a lot of sisters there. No one's saying, hey, let me help you. You want to go get a pizza? I got some things to say.